Good morning. Welcome to the WEX Wakeup for Monday, October 23rd. I'm Christy Matino. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds has entered the race to be the next House Speaker, saying he doubts the prolonged fight over the position will damage his party in the 2024 general election.
Once we get past this, and I think we are going to get past this pretty quickly, and I think we're going to get back to business. We're going to continue to go back into this political discussion, this fight with the White House about what the true priorities of America are. So I don't think it's going to damage the presidential election.
Donalds announced his bid for Speaker on Friday, shortly after Congressman Jim Jordan failed to gain those necessary votes in 3 voting rounds last week. Donalds stressed his ability to hear out his more centrist colleagues, such as the ones who refused to vote for Jordan, while also touting his conservative credentials that would likely appeal to those 8 Republicans who voted to oust McCarthy earlier this month. And Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Israel cannot go back to the status quo when the war between the Jewish state and terrorist organization Hamas does come to an end. Blinken said Israel has no plans to govern the Palestinian enclave after the war ends, but the nation will need to address Hamas's role as the governing body of Gaza.
Something needs to be found that ensures that Hamas can't do this again, but that also doesn't revert to Israeli governance of Gaza, which they do not want and do not intend to do. There are different ideas out there about what could follow, but all of that I think needs to be worked, and it's something that needs to be worked even as Israel is dealing with the current threat.
Hamas released 2 American hostages to the Red Cross on Friday, but the terrorist group kidnapped about 200 people during that October 7th terrorist attack in southern Israel. Blinken said some of the 10 Americans who remain unaccounted for may be held by the terrorist group. And the Detroit Police Department said the stabbing of a synagogue president was not a hate crime. Police Chief James E. White said no evidence had suggested the stabbing of 40-year-old Samantha Wall was motivated by anti-Semitism, but police are still investigating. Wall was found stabbed to death outside her home on Saturday morning. Police are currently conducting interviews for this investigation to hopefully bring the case to a close soon. But anti-Jewish hate crimes increased by 36% in 2022 compared to the previous year. That's according to FBI crime data. There was also a 3% increase in anti-Islamic hate crimes. Thanks for joining us here on the WEX Wakeup. Be sure to give us a follow on social media so you stay in the know of all those headlines trending in politics.